so much. And the claims from all of these guys are competing. So I was at the RSA conference. If you've ever been to that, it's like the biggest security conference in the world. It's in San Francisco every year. I always look forward to it because I live in San Francisco, so I don't have to commute to get to this thing. And I'm going down the escalator. This wasn't this year, it was last year. And there's two people in front of me. Two people, one new guy who's never been to the conference, and obviously an experienced guy, and I can overhear them because I'm right behind them. And the experienced guy says to the new guy, "Now you watch," he says, "when we get down to the expo hall, every one of these damn vendors is going to be making exactly the same claims, that they'll help fight malware and protect you." Right? And he was absolutely right. And he's right every single year. You go down there, and everybody tells you they're going to help prevent malware, they're going to keep you out of trouble, they're going to help keep your data safe, blah, blah, blah. But everybody knows everybody's still getting hacked. So obviously, it's not working. The challenge is if you're trying to sell these solutions, well, which one are you supposed to sell? And over time, is it going to continue to be effective, right? Sandboxing, good strategy, blah, blah, blah. Go look at FireEye's stock price over the last 3 years, right? It fell off a cliff. Why? Because it was in a lot more favor that would solve everybody's problems. And now reality has set in, and we realize we have to do a lot more. So this is a very challenging environment to operate in, and it's particularly challenging, frankly, for a company like Infoblox because it's not a security company. So when you talk to a security practitioner, they don't automatically think, "Oh, I better go buy that Infoblox security." So you have to be smart about your approach in the security systems. Do not show up and say, "I will use Infoblox to help you find malware" as your opening gambit. That is my first recommendation. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to simplify it. My boss likes to put everything in 3 bullets. So whatever it is, the answer is 3 bullets, right? So like if I'm screwing up, he tells me 3 ways I'm screwing up. If I'm doing well, he tells me 3 ways I'm doing well. So to try to make it a little simpler, I'm going to simplify security for Infoblox in just 2 bullets. And the first bullet is this whole ecosystem play, right? Our unique position in the network creates a rich data source to be shared with customer security systems and architectures, right? That is the first thing that you should lead with because it's true and it's differentiated, and I will show you how later in the presentation, okay? The second one is DNS specific. Right? DNS is a unique threat vector, and that deserves a dedicated solution. And I will do a little bit about this later on. And you'll notice that it's not a mistake in the slide. The font on the first one is bigger than the font on the second one. And that is because the first one is a lot more important to generate credibility and differentiation than the second one. Okay? So my favorite, I have a whole bunch of stories. The problem is I'm so old, my memory's going, and I forget all my good stories, and I have a lousy imagination, so I can't make up fake ones. But this one I remember really, really well. It was a Northeastern Bank, Connecticut. I show up. There's like 7 people from the bank. 6 of them are networking people, are traditional buyers. 1 of them is security. The security guy somehow got dragged into this. He's sitting in the corner, he's banging on his email, the other guys are talking, and I start talking about security. Now this was about like 6 or 8 months ago when I hadn't quite figured it out yet. And at some point I say, "Oh, well, our DNS firewall can help find malware." And the security guy pops up, stops his email, and he says, "Oh, my Palo Alto can do that." And without waiting for a response, he goes back down and starts typing again. Okay, so here we go. Then I start talking about data exfiltration through DNS. And so we got a security analytics, we can help solve exfiltration through DNS. Guess what happens? I'm not kidding you. The security guy stops his email, pops his head up, and says, "Oh, my Palo Alto can do that." Goes right back to an email. Like, okay, this is not going very well. And we've got 45 minutes left in the meeting. Then I actually got smart. And then I started talking about other things. So somehow I got us on the subject of vulnerability scanning. They're a big Qualys job, 52 internal Qualys systems, very expensive, multi-million-dollar system, heavy operations. And I asked them about their operational challenges around vulnerability scanners. It turned out it was a real problem for them. Because they're a bank, they're subject to all kinds of audit and compliance controls related to vulnerability scanning and patching. And because the environment is so large, it's a complete pain in the butt for them to actually operationalize figuring out what things need to be scanned when. And that turned into a real pain point discussion, and we were talking about the integrations we're going to do and blah, blah, blah. That customer is now our lead customer for the integration with Qualys, because they said, hey, listen guys, we want to work with Qualys. If you really want this fixed, go call your Qualys rep and go tell those guys to talk to us, and let's make this solution work. And we're working on it right now, and not just for them, but for other guys as well. Okay.